What do you think of the Billy Meyer case? Because it's one of the most debated cases as to whether it's fake or whether it's true or whether it's got a foot in truth even. What do you make of it?
I was really impressed by the original investigative team's work, and the bottom line was that Wendell, the most compelling evidence to me was there's one photograph known as the woodpile scene, which was digitally analyzed, and the experts could not find any evidence of fakery. They couldn't find strings, no evidence of paste up. And the bottom line was, yes, it was a large object photographed at some distance from the camera. And you have to understand that Billy Meyer was a one-armed Swiss farmer with a sixth grade education, and all he had to get around the countryside was a little moped. So for somebody with those limitations to fake a photograph of a 21-foot aircraft seems ludicrous. So you can't prove that he actually had visitation from the Pleiades. That's totally subjective. But it does show that, yes, Mr. Meyer did, at least on one occasion, photograph something that we cannot account for.
Now, there's a big buzz about disclosure at the moment. People talking about the fact that over the next year or so, leading up to 2012, we're going to know the final truth about extraterrestrials and UFOs. Now, I have to remain slightly skeptical on this because I've been hearing disclosure for year after year after year, and I don't think it's just going to happen overnight. But what's your theory on this? What do you think is going to happen? Are we about to get final contact?
Back when I was in junior high, I got an extraordinary book from my weekly reader book club in school called Flying Saucer Serious Business by Frank Edwards. And in those days, Frank Edwards was like the Art Bell of his day. And this is probably 1962, 1961, maybe. And they said at the end of his book, he said disclosure was imminent. Disclosure was imminent. And, you can only cry wolf so many times and remain credible. So, like you, I hear a lot of stories about disclosure. There seems there's a huge clamoring, and every time there's a new president, there's always a huge clamoring for disclosure, right? And so I think we're just seeing more of that phenomena right now. But I will tell you this quite frankly. I would expect to see disclosure come from the Vatican before I would see legitimate disclosure come from, say, President Obama, because I think in the long run, one of the main stumbling blocks to disclosure has been religion. Humans of this planet are so locked into their religious belief systems, and those belief systems in large part do not accommodate the idea of actual face-to-face exchange with extraterrestrials. Humans of this planet are simply not conditioned for that. And the great religions of this planet do not advocate any kind of program to mitigate the trauma of disclosure or contact. So I'm thinking that especially the Vatican, would want to take steps to put itself in the best possible position so that if and when disclosure does come out, that the Vatican would be the least damaged by it. There's a billion Catholics on this planet. And that's a significant portion of the population with a lot of clout. Now, if you can keep them calm with disclosure, maybe other religious groups would follow in suit with that. I don't know for sure if they would, but I think that's... And with the recent... comments coming from the Vatican with the regard that yes, extraterrestrial life is a possibility, And for Vatican officials to make these statements at this time, I find is absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding. And you must know, I come from Tucson, Arizona, and we have the Mount Graham Observatory just east of us in Wilcox, Arizona, which is a major observatory, which is in part owned by the Vatican. So makes one pause. So why is the Vatican getting involved in astronomical research? So.
Yeah, maybe they know something we don't know, but the timing, I believe, is very, very significant. Now let's come back to your talk here at UFO Congress. Apart from obviously stating the further facts on the Eisenhower incident, what else did you put forward in the talk that you can tell us about today?
I think it's just that it astounds me that the UFO community doesn't view the Eisenhower contact as something as significant, equally significant, if not more significant, than the Roswell crash. And that the problem is that these are cliches within the UFO community, and people tend to gloss over them. Well, Roswell was no big deal. A UFO crashed, and the alien armada didn't attack us, so it's okay. Everything's okay. We don't appreciate these events within the context of what history was at that time. And that's one of the reasons I want to go back and review these incidents within the historical context of that time, and point out that this was really serious stuff back in the late 40s, early 50s, and we haven't recovered yet from the impact of these incidents. And when disclosure finally comes out, we may be shocked to see how much these incidents actually influence our lives to this day.
Do you believe ETs are already amongst us?
I think if you want to find the real ETs, all you have to do is look around. We are all the ETs. We are all, and ironically, I think because of this issue, because they have kept this issue so locked down, we don't have a clear picture of who we are as human beings. What are we doing on this planet? Why are we here? Where are we going? Who created us? Are we just an accident of evolution? Why is it that there are 250 genomes in the human DNA that are not indigenous to this planet? So are we the aliens, or have with all this secrecy, have we become alienated from ourselves?
Good possibility. Jim, is there a website where people can find out more about your research?
Yes, it's www.jimnicholsUFOart.com, and you can peruse my gallery of UFO art. Also, I have a blog page where I have 21 essays, which includes briefing paper, which is the story about the Eisenhower contact, and as well as the Aldebaran mystery, which is the video that we premiered here at this conference, which is all about the German saucer mystery, which is a whole other topic. And also, I want you to understand I have my first YouTube video has just premiered as well, which is called Nibiru, which explores the mysteries of Nibiru, Planet X, and the 2012 mystery and Mayan calendar. So you can access that on YouTube by looking up Nibiru, Jim Nicholls YouTube.
Jim, it's been a delight talking to you. So much more we could talk about.
You bet we could.
Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thank you.